Hey guys, it's Charlotte, and I wanted to talk today about a topic in the news, which is the revolutionary new law that is being passed in Australia to keep children off the internet. The proposed ban is either starting from age 14 or age 16, which personally I think that it should be age 16, because my groomers first got a hold of me starting around 14, 15 is when I got introduced online to the groomers on the internet. So for me personally, from my life experience, I think that should be at least 16. 16 is still a minor, okay? 16 is still a minor. So I hope personally that it's 16, not the 14, not allowing 14-year-olds to roam the social medias, but that it be 16. I don't know, I'm not in charge of those laws, right? I'm a layman, this is me speaking from my experience. But I am someone who was groomed, exploited, abused by online predators. So I'm someone with the lived experience of PDF files finding me online and subsequently grooming, exploiting me, and then also trying to lure me and all of that as a minor. So, and it all started from the internet, okay? And we must be aware that nowadays the online world is optimal for groomers and PDFs to find children, that they want to exploit and abuse online, because they can handpick victims. They can go on the different apps, look at the different girls, their different photos, their different profiles, and handpick, hand choose. And with their word craft online, encourage, coerce the children into illicit, illegal creation of CSAM and exploitation of those minors, as well as sometimes luring and then raping of the minors, okay? So this is the reality of things that are happening right now in 2024, almost 2025. Online is where most PDF files are finding victims. Okay? The fact that there's so much anonymity on the internet, the fact that they also hide within the groups like the furry communities and the alt where you don't have your face shown, the anonymity of it, it's extremely optimal for PDF files. That's how they've done it before. That's how they've been doing it for decades. Okay, starting from the MSN, Yahoo Chat, Omegle, Tumblr, Snapchat, now Discord. This is how it's happening, is online. And this is why I agree with and think that these measures are important to be taken seriously, to put the safety measures in place to keep children safe, just completely off the internet altogether. Because the brains are not fully developed. The brain actually isn't fully developed until around 25. And you can teach media literacy, okay? Which I think that should also be a prerequisite before a child is given a device. Media literacy and just awareness about child predators online and the lurking and the means they go to needs to be taught. But sadly, a lot of parents aren't even aware of this. A lot of parents aren't even aware. So some of the backlash might be from that. Online is optimal for PDF files to find victims, to find children, to exploit, abuse, groom, coerce into creation of CSAM, luring, in person. A lot of it is starting from the internet now, okay? Especially after C-19, it actually encouraged more of the digital landscape, more of the communication via phone rather than real life. Even me as an adult now, I see how much that's affected me. Yeah, as well as my PTSD, that's a whole other thing. But overall, this has basis. The law that Australia is putting through is based. It's based in reality of the fact that a lot of child sexual abuse material is being created through these online groomers from their coercion and word crafting of children into these acts while they sit behind their computer. That's what's happening. And it's easy for them to do this, and your child won't tell you because they've now formed a relationship with this PDF file online and they think that they love them. Okay? The internet is still currently not a safe place, especially not for minors. It's not safe, okay? It isn't. It isn't. The internet isn't safe. And it's taking away from real life communication. I can understand, because the reason why I understand why some people might be like, but it helps give community. Well, I understand that, because I was someone who was bullied really bad my whole experience with school, and I thought that online communication was a safe place for me. It ended up being much worse, actually. If I had not even had my phone at all, it would have been better, because the groomers would have never gotten a hold of me. If measures like that were put into place in Canada, which they're also not here in Canada. Canada is extremely lax when it comes to child predators. They let them off. Personally, I am really happy that these laws are being considered in Australia for the safety of our children. And I'm not just speaking from my experience. I know multiple people in my life that when they were children had horrible experiences online. Not just with predators, but just with online bullies and harassers. Even now to this day on my social media as an adult, it's still hard to deal with the trolls and the haters. These are the things that are happening behind closed doors, and your children probably won't even tell you about it. They probably won't even make you aware. If they're being groomed by a groomer online, if they're being coerced into sending CSA of themselves to an adult PDF online, okay? And you think they're just having fun on their phone? You're none the wiser, okay? You're none the wiser. So I think it's good that the government is putting measures, laws to actually prevent children from having access to these social medias, okay? But what is something that can be done that isn't part of the government, okay? What's something that can be done that isn't the government that will keep children safe? Parents, stop buying your children smartphones. Literally stop. Stop doing that. Get them a flip phone. Get them a flip phone to text their in real life friends and leave it at that. Stop buying them the smartphones. Yeah, sure, it's easy. Yeah, it keeps them busy. Maybe start being a parent, okay? Maybe start parenting your children. Now they're unsafe. In my city where I live, a billboard they have, and it makes me sad but happy that it's there every time I see it. It's for the Internet Child Exploitation website or whatever here in Canada. And it says, the internet leaves your child to their own devices. Exactly what predators want. And that's true. It's so true. And I'm not the only victim of PDFs online and of bullies online, okay? I'm not the only one. This is happening on a grand scale. And then they coerce them immediately when they turn 18 to become an OF model and stuff. It immediately goes into that. It's part of that cycle. It's all intertwined. It's first groomed and coerced into them when they're minors. Okay? Because that's ideal for the predator. That's what they want also. Okay? You have to be aware of this. Like, but yeah, for the parents, stop buying the children smartphones. Buy them the flip phone and that's it. Also, another thing parents can do is to educate yourself on online predators and groomers and the landscape. To educate yourself on that technological landscape. And then from there, help teach your children media literacy and online safety precautions to keep them safe. And the fact that these predators will come after them, and that it's not always some creepy guy. Mostly it's a cool, calm, collected, suave, psychopathic pedophile that they won't know is a psychopath, because a lot of psychopaths appear very kind and nice and just want to get to know you. Okay? That they're not overtly creepy most of the time. Lots of them are your next door neighbor. The husband next door is the one online when his wife's not looking, grooming, messaging these children under false names online. Okay? That's how it's happening. That's what's going on. So wake up. That's the first thing. Before you speak against this bill and stuff, you need to be so aware of the prolific nature of these predators online and how often and common this is happening. So with all that being said, I am really happy that Australia's government is actually doing something, is actually putting measures in place. And I hope that me speaking on this is going to help bring context for the parents that are kind of unsure, or maybe people that are like, just like, no, we have to let the children on the internet. Maybe wake up to the reality of all of the evil that's happening very commonly online. Okay? And that is hidden in plain sight. They hide straight in plain sight, these predators. It's very hard, honestly, for children to identify them. And if their parents aren't even aware, if you're like, well, it's just easier to give my kid the phone, the device, step up your parenting in that case, honestly. But they won't. That's the problem. So that's why these laws have to be put in place. Because children are being abducted, are being groomed, are being lured, are being exploited. And then there are CSA MIs all over the internet. Okay? This is happening on a large scale, and that's why these laws are being put into place. It isn't to harm children, it isn't to restrict children, it's to keep children safe. Okay? So I stand with Australia and their law to keep children off the internet. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think it's a good idea, especially from my lived experience as a child who was groomed, exploited online, and then subsequently, yeah, I stand with it. And this is why these laws are being put into place. And if you're just bothered by it because you're like, well, I like the convenience of my child having a phone and not bothering me, then I'm sorry, but you're not being a good parent. And you're not thinking of children and saving the actual children and keeping them safe. And you're not even aware of groomers and the harms of online. So wake up in that case, okay? Yeah. I stand with, I'm glad that Australia is putting these laws into place, or at least are considering it. I hope that they get approved, honestly, and I hope the age is 16, not 14. No. 14, 15-year-olds, no, should not be actively on the internet, no. On the social medias and all those messaging platforms, no. Okay, that's my opinion as a lived experience layman. That's what I think, and that's why I think what I think. Hope this helps enlighten some of you guys. Goodbye.